Hi everyone, welcome to the stream tonight. It's been a little while since we've done this. I think maybe 2 or 3 months. It's now 2022, and some exciting things planned for this project. So if you're new, if this is the first video on this channel you're watching, this is a project where we create an AI wrapper, basically an AI API to Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. And what do I mean by AI API? I mean that we want to be able to use this game. It's a pretty cool game. I'll pull it up here and show it here while I keep doing the intro. It's a pretty cool game, and we want to use it for AI research. So, it's Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I recommend you go check it out. You play it. You get to choose a character. Let's be a hill orc monk with a mace. And we're in this procedurally generated dungeon. And then we can move around and fight monsters and pick up items. And it's just pretty great. So tonight, on tonight's stream, I'm going to show how we can add sprints, basically custom levels, and how we can make them, how we can load them up into the web server, how I'll demo what they look like, and then we'll even see if we can get a little agent to play around in one. So we'll see if we make it that far, and then if we have time, might also spend some time working on pddl models and other things. And one other small announcement is that all the latest development is going to happen on the dev branch. So if the master branch on the GitHub, and this is pretty common, the master branch on the GitHub will have kind of more stable code, and the more recent stuff will be on the dev branch. So check that out if you want the absolute latest code. So with that, I'm just checking my setup. I'm a bit rusty. There's all this stuff going on with streaming. You got to manage your windows and the OBS software. It's pretty awesome. So okay, and you see this PowerShell here. This is running the Docker container. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show how to make sprints. So before I do that, I'll just show what a sprint is. So this is just the full game we have here in the browser. So I'm going to exit out of that. And then what we see here is that we can start a sprint by clicking here. And if we start a sprint, we pick from one of these levels. So what is a sprint in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup? It's basically a much smaller, abbreviated version of the game. So it's there. People think of them kind of as puzzles. They can be quite challenging. So I must admit, personally, I haven't tried too many times, but I haven't beat one of these yet. They can be kind of brutal. You kind of got to figure out the exact right sequence of actions. So for that respect, for reinforcement learning, they're kind of an excellent smaller problem than the full game, for sure. Also, they are not completely procedurally generated. So most of it is pretty fixed. There still might be some variability. Let me just go ahead and show this first one, Sprint 1 Red Sonja. So you get to choose your character, the same thing. Let's be a Minotaur Berserker with an axe. It's pretty strong. So it will always look like this when you start. And we can start moving. And then you kind of, the way a lot of them are set up is you go through rooms, and then there are these unique monsters. So I've already gotten hit for almost half my health here, and I'm about to die. So, let's go Berserk. Let's see if we can survive. Oh my god. Minotaur Berserkers are just way overpowered in the early game. This is fantastic. So we actually survived. Let's rest up, heal ourselves, and then we can go into the next room. Okay. So this is what a sprint looks like, right? So I'm gonna exit out of here. And I'm also just gonna, this is a game in progress from last, I'm just gonna delete that. So this is usually what it looks like here in the menu, and there's kind of these 4 game modes: trunk, trunk with a C, tutorial, sprint. The API supports connecting to all of them. You can just change it in the config. I talk about that in previous videos, I think. By the way, if you ever have any questions, post to the Gitter. That I get notifications, and that question other people will see it. So we actually had some people ask recently how to make custom levels, custom sprints, and so I actually posted the instructions there as well. But I figured it'd be nice to kind of walk through it so you guys could see everything. Okay, so we saw the sprints that come with the game, and what you can see in here in this terminal I have open, this is running the Docker container, right? So I just actually shut that process down running in this Docker, and you can see I got a server shutting down message. So what we're gonna do is, actually no, I think it is here, source. So this is the crawl source code, right? If I do ls here, these are all the C files and the header. This is like all the code, or the biggest source code directory for the game. There's other directories as well, and there should be, you know what? I'm gonna go to crawl dungeon crawl stone soup, and let's go to the GitHub. It's usually one of these links. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so crawl ref, right? You can see this matches what we're, the source. So we had crawl ref, source. We're gonna go to source, and then dat. So the dat folder, and then the DES folder, and then the sprint folder. So let's do here cd dat DES sprint. Okay, so we're here. And as we can see, these are the levels that we just saw, right? Red Sonja showed up. And what we can do is we can look at, oh no. Let's see. Can I get Emacs on this? Is that too much? Okay. Docker containers are pretty minimalist. Let's see, will nano work? Okay, cool. I can get nano. That's fine. I just wanted to, okay, so now let me try that again. And okay, so what do we see here? Let me make this window a little bigger. Double check you guys can see it. Let me just, okay. Okay, so yeah, and feel free to type in the chat if you guys have questions or anything, or just to say hi. That's cool. So this is the level layout, and so basically this is nothing more than a text file, and these X's on the outside are kind of like the border. And if you see, there's kind of this like two columns. I don't know if you remember exactly. This is the room that we started in, right? And this little plus sign is a door, right? There was a wall, this X, and then the door, and then there's this squarish room, and then 1 was the monster that we fought. He started in this position, and then if you remember, after we killed him, we went to the next room through this door, the little plus sign, and then in this bottom right corner where the 2 is, there was the ogre. So this is literally the entire sprint map, encoded here. And so if, just to double check, so these are the monsters, and I am not an absolute expert on this syntax. I've only made kind of simpler sprint levels. I believe there's some material in the crawl documentation, so you might have to dig a little bit to find that. But there are some examples you can start with, and figure it out. Also, the crawl itself, Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, has a developer IRC. You can go ask questions, etc. So this is kind of the ones that come with the game. You can see it's a pretty nicely made sprint. Now I'm gonna show how we can add a custom one. So we especially more in the beginning, we've made a couple custom sprints, and so now I'm under the custom sprints folder of this project, DCSS AI Wrapper. That name is quite a mouthful, isn't it? We are a project rename may be coming in the future. I'll just hint at that. So we have it up here in the pie charm. And so let's look at hellosprint.des. So this is one that we made. It has this simple, it's basically a, rectangular room where there's just the orb of Zot, which is this item represented by this symbol, the hash sign. And it starts at the other end of the room, and we start at the bottom of the room. So let's see if we can get this into so I'm actually just going to go raw here on GitHub. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to go to the Docker, and let's do hello sprint. Now I'm using an underscore in the middle intentionally, and you'll see the reason is the name inside the file is hello sprint. I don't know, this naming convention may be important. So just something to consider if for whatever reason you can't get it to load. So the web server isn't running, right? We've stopped the web server. We've gone into this directory, source.des sprint. We're gonna make a new file. We're gonna paste this in. We're going to save it. And just to double check, we've got it in this directory. We've got hello sprint down here. And now we're going to go back and run the web server. Okay, web server is running. Let's go back to, let's refresh the web page. Now, every time we restart the web server, we have to re-register our user. We really should, is that gonna work? Registration. Oh, user already exists. Did it save it? Okay. So now let's go to sprint. And we see it. We have a custom sprint, hello world, right here at the bottom. Just added it to the bottom of the list. Let's click on it. Let's choose our character. Boom, this is the room. So this is the room that's laid out in this right here. So we have the orb of Zot. If I go back here, if I hover over this, here, see here, the orb of Zot. So this is great. If you want to use this for research, you want to make some of your own custom levels, you want to do tests or debugging, this can be extremely helpful. There's kind of, the own little language about how to do it, but that's pretty much it. So that covers the sprint portion of what we wanted to show tonight. And now I think we will kind of just dive back into the general development of the API. So, and just the project in general. So with that, I'm going to exit out of this. I'm actually going to minimize this PowerShell because we're going to go back to code. And yeah, let's, might have messed things up there a little bit. Okay. All right, so we showed sprints. Oh, let me actually delete it. Okay, cool. So one of the things we were working on is, so in state, we have game.py. And let me collapse all. Okay, so this is probably the biggest file so far, and we will refactor it at some point. And so we have our API functions. So just just to kind of, refresh anybody who's new or anything. If we go to the documentation and we go to the state representations, we have these, right? So we have all these functions. We have this player stats vector, right? That's in game.py. That is right here. Get player stats vector. So what we want to do is, previously the planning agent that we have that can play the game has been just using, there's been code that just writes a completely single state file, writes it to a file, and then the planner just grabs that file. And instead, what we want to do is we want to call these pddl methods that we've implemented recently. So what we've done is under agents, we've made a new agent, which is this simple GR agent. And GR stands for goal reasoning, because the agent's going to have a couple different goals and it's going to choose between them for depending on what the state is. So that'll give us, the capability to have a few different behaviors. And as you can see, so what was previously happening, and this is still the case here because this is, we started by just copying the previous fast downward planning agent. Fast downward is the planner we're using. This file is just being written out by game.py. There is a function, it's towards the bottom right, pddl, write pddl to current state to file. So this function is being called, and basically we want to kind of duplicate this functionality, but this really should happen all on the agent side of things, right? We just want to get the pddl state from the game using the pddl APIs. So, and I'm picking back up on this myself, so I just need to reorient myself on this document. Generate current state. Right, this is what we're doing. So this is taking goals, right? Because the way a lot of planners work is the problem file consists of both the state of the environment, the current state or the starting state, and also the goals. The game is not going to tell us what our goals are, right? That's for the agent to know and to decide, or the agent's human author. So what we're doing is we're calling all these functions, right? So we're going to get all the map objects in pddl. We're going to get the player stats, the player skills, and the player inventory. And then we're going to return this, right? So we have made a new, under state, we've made a new pddl.py file, which is basically has this code that will take in everything that's needed to write a pddl file. So this is kind of a utility file. So if we go back to the simple GR agent, it's going to call this function. Well, so I should say, is this going to write a file? No, this is just going to return a string. So it returns a string. Yeah. The name is not ideal. I'm going to refactor this and rename it to problem. Get pddl problem. I don't know. That's problem is better than state for sure, but it is kind of the entire problem file, but it's not actually writing the file. It's just the string. So I'm going to leave it get pddl problem. Okay, hopefully it says it'll change the code in simple GR agent. It looks like the refactor will go through. Okay, excellent. So we've got that simple GR agent. This is returning the string. So when we're getting the plan from fast downward, we really want to rewrite this. So we want to call this function. We call but we need to decide what we have our goals, right? We have our goals. And we need to choose a file name. And really, this is part of the agent, you know? So I almost want to make a directory here for temporary files. Yeah, let's do that. You know, ideally, I mean, really the agent should be run separately. I think we can handle that later. While we're doing it, let's make a folder here. So temporary files. Let's just call it temp. Let's make a README file inside of it. So we can add this to Git, and then we'll just say this directory serves as a placeholder for agents to keep temporary files like pddl problem files that should not be I don't know, saved in the repository. So, you know, this way folks will know what this folder is for. And what that does is that gives us a place to write this file name. So now up here, plan current pddl state file name. Let's shorten this a little bit. Let's just say pddl state file name. And instead of being in models, it's going to be actually yeah, I like keeping the source. The source directory should be kind of kept pristine. I don't like this here. Let's move it up. Let's move it up to the top, the root. And okay, it already exists. Okay, that's fine. Let's rename it here now. And let's call it agent temp state. And now we can move it up to the top. So now our source code is kind of kept pristine. We've got this new directory. Okay. And let's go to source DCSS agent. Okay, so now we know where we're gonna write this, right? It's gonna be agent temp state / state.pddl. And because we're going to rename that variable, that'll break it in some places. But anyway, so we know the file name now. So we can do self.pddl state file name. We can open that. Then we can, so now we're gonna generate the current state. Well, so we have it here. But yeah, we really don't need to store it in a variable. Yeah, so we have it there. So we're calling this function. Then we're saying we wrote to a file. This will be the same file name. And then we will call fast downward using the file name here. It really should be called problem. Yeah, that's okay. And then that should work. So I think we try to run this. And we're probably going to break it. I don't think... Part of this is to test that the API works. So... and now let me see if I can... add this to the view of what's being captured, so you guys can see. Yes, this is what I want to add. Okay. So it'd be nice if, yeah, let's just do that maybe. Okay. Well, yeah, honestly, I'm gonna. I don't know. Where should we put it? Where should we put it? Should I put it right here? Maybe I'll put it here. Yeah, I think I'll put it here because I tend to use the editor in the middle of the file. So let's keep it there. Okay. So let's cd into DCSS AI wrapper, which is in okay. Now there is a .env, so, and because we're on Windows, we have to do it like this. Okay, good. Now we got Python. Let's do Python source DCSS agent simple gr, and it's gonna break. First of all, actually, let's just double check. So our config is we're playing the web chunk of the game. So if we wanted to play the sprints, we would change this to be sprint. Minotaur Berserker. Sure. Let's try this. Let's see what happens. So we see it starting. It's creating the character. Okay, something's happening. Interesting. Okay, let's just cancel this so we can pause it. And new goal not has monster. Okay. Planning with goal not has monster. Okay. About to write out game state with file. I mean, this looks like the map we have. And let's see. I was writing state.pddl here. So this is the PDDL file we have. We have all the objects. Fantastic. And then we have init, which these are all the facts in the world. So we have what the player has equipped, some of the stats about the player, which god they're worshiping. That worked. All right. Now, yeah, that's all pretty neat. That's very neat. So yeah, let's just see if we can get it to do more things. So first of all, let's run it again and let's watch the behavior a little bit. Well, so okay, actually before we do that, let's just check to see what the goals will look like. You guys have to forgive me a little bit because I was working on this 2 months ago and took a break from it, and I have to see what my past self was doing with the code. So this is the function that's returning the next action. And we are calling goal selection here. So let's see what this is. Goal selection. Okay. We're going to attack monsters first. So I want to, in the state file, do we say there's a monster? It says not has monster here. But there's no monster in the state, is there? And just for sanity, let's remove this. And really what we should do, I mean, this is gonna break existing things, but we should comment this out. I think, yeah. Okay, we're gonna comment this out just to make sure that's not being called. And get any problems? Okay, let's try running it again, see what happens. So it's in there. I think it might be closing out the game. Yep, it's deleting the old game, creating the new game. And we're in the map. Well, it's moving around. So it's got cells. And it says there's a monster there. So, you know what would really be ideal is if we could keep track of all the states. It's going to be a lot of files. But it would be nice to do. So I think we're just going to do something simple where we're going to do just going to make a counter. And then this is going to be honestly, we should make a little function here. Let's just do that. Def get pddl state file name. And we're just going to return this actually. Right? And that way, whenever we update this counter and we just call this, we'll get it. So then we really shouldn't be using this anymore. We should be using this. So really, in that sense, we should add an underscore, which I think is proper Python practice. Probably should need to add in other places too. And really, the state counter, let's add that too. And now we can replace it in all those places. Yeah, so. Oh, except this is a function. Oh, I'm calling dot format. Is that needed? I don't think that's needed. I don't think that's needed. Hopefully it's not. So this is gonna fill up real fast. And then we might need to add code to delete all of them. Nah, that's fine. So let's delete this. And let's go back, run it again. Oh, whoops, forgot to update the counter. Yep. So basically after we write it, let's update the counter. Yeah, worst case, even if we call the planner multiple times, it would just keep making more state files. I think we're fine. Okay. It's gonna delete this game. And are we okay? So I think we're in this one. Oh, interesting. We started on a beach this time. And we should see a lot of different, yep, see a lot of different files here. Okay, let's wait and see where there's a monster. Because that's really what I want to see if oh, it looks like it's just taking random actions. Okay, let's run it again. Actually, we should test this out on a sprint. Really test it out on a sprint. Maybe we'll do it next time. See how we feel here. Okay. Okay. Let's run it again, see if we get near a monster this time. Okay. So we got to see what it looked like there. Now, should have overridden these. So we got all the cells. We got a init, but we're not getting the other facts, right? So there were other objects and everything. There should be more facts in the init. So let's look at what's happening here. If we go to pddl, I want to check to see if it's writing everything out. Well, we are using this. Okay. Yeah, pddl problem init facts is pddl facts. Get all the map objects. But we should. Okay, let's go back to game.py. Let's see this function we had written out. We had actually commented out. Let's uncomment it. We know it's it's not being called. Get pddl player info. Are we calling that? We're not calling that. Because this is not, I don't think this is in the API. Yeah, player info is an older function. So, and even if we just look at state.pdl, we don't even have where the player is located. If player place is dungeon 1. So that's player info. Get cell map radius, get cell map global. Are we calling it with a radius? Get all map objects. This is all of them. Okay, it's calling this the radius one. Radius is set to 8, so it's only telling what's within 8 tiles. And that's an 8 tile radius, so that's pretty big, but it's not huge. So, I want to do global for now. Is it going to complain? No, it's fine with that. Let's run this again. Let's see what the states are looking like. If I delete, yeah, I want to delete all of them. If I delete them at the wrong time, it might cause me problems. Delete. Didn't cause a problem. Cool. No? Okay. Got all the cell objects. Yeah, it should say like what are at cells. That's not, so there's something going on there with like cell data. So I can leave it running. Get cell map global. Yeah, we should be saying all this stuff about whether how tiles are related to each other, north, south, west, east. I mean, how is it even moving around? It must be calling. Is the planner even working? Okay. Oh, the plan. Are we printing out? Hmm. Because yeah, pddl state counter. We really should do this before. So we're changing the file name and we change that. So we really want to do this. We really want to do that. So I think the planning is failing. And actually it is, usually it prints out the plan. So I think it is failing. So let's reset it, rerun it. I don't think it's planning at the moment. Hmm. We can test that manually too. But anyway, cell map pdl global. Oh, including multiple levels. And what about the radius one? Hmm. Oh, this is the one with the radius. So somehow it's not getting written. Actually, I want to run it in PyCharm. I think we can do that. So in that case, I will hide that and see if we can run it here. And I want to be able to inspect what this is. It's resetting. Yeah, it's working. Oh, but did I not do debug mode? Oh, right, radius. So let's do 10, honestly. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna do that. So let's see step over. So we got all these facts here. Huh. Somehow they're not making it. So this, if we can step over. Okay, get all map objects in pddl. Are we calling this function? Yeah, get all map objects in pddl, right? So we're literally calling this function. Okay, step over. And oh, we're just returning the object strings. Why? Okay, that's easy. Let's do objects first and then facts. Is it that simple? And then pddl objects. It's really, let's make this map objects and pddl map facts is equal to this. And now what we can do is after the fact, we can say pddl objects plus equal pddl map objects. Same thing for this, pddl facts plus equals pddl map facts. And we should be a lot better. So I'm gonna hit, actually it's just gonna, it doesn't matter. Let's stop it. I'm gonna just, and let's go here and let's delete all these. And now let's run it. It'll probably exit out of it. Yeah. Okay. And if we look at state 1, we got objects. And we got our map facts. Okay. Do we have beautiful? Do we have player at? And there's a lot of them, aren't there? Oh boy, big states. Nothing like feeling like you're working on a real domain. Big states. Okay, but do we have like player at? Excellent. We got player at, we got all these things. So that's that state. Let's see if we can get the most recent state. Reload from disk. Okay, so it should be like gold. And so we should have other facts too. Like has terrain. Do we have anything like gold? Has gold? No. Has terrain. Train. Anything? That's all it has, terrain. Okay. So anyway, that's so we aren't getting plans, we're taking random actions. Predicate uses the wrong arity. Has monster. Okay. Yeah, we might have to update the pddl domain file. So let's just delete these. Might still be more in there. Okay, no, that was all of them. Okay. So we fixed the map objects and map facts, but did we really? Because there's other map facts. So right, because it's just that's right. Because it's just north, south, east, west. Right. There's other code. There's other stuff that we're doing it. We've done it before. I know somewhere. There should be monster somewhere. Is it not in cell map? Oof. Where is this? I know we've done this. Oh no, you know what? We got to get the cells. Got to get the cells PDDF. I don't think we're doing this. Let's get cell map pddl global, but we're using the radius one. It should be here, cell.get pddl facts. Let's just see what, yeah, right? So has terrain is working. Closed door, open door, player at is working. Has terrain, but what? Let's run it again. Let's run it again because I think we were just saying has terrain on a tile, so it might be calling an older version. Okay, there's nothing. There should be doors. There should be doors shown in this, right? Should be has door. Closed door. Got 2 closed doors. Okay. And then, yeah, there should be that item, right? Because in cell has item scroll, right? It should have that. Has scroll, right? So let's get a more recent state. Yeah, so we're not getting scroll. And also, okay, do we have terrain? Has terrain. Okay, it does say stone wall. Why aren't we getting, you know, because in the map it shows, like it shows this, right? That question mark. And in cell we are, right? So has scroll, right? Find usages. There should be value right, right? Has scroll is equal to true. So something's going on. This is where honestly we should make our own custom sprint level. Make our own custom sprint level with like one of every type of item and maybe a starting monster and all this stuff, and then we can like very carefully test through. That'll be way easier. That'll be way easier to do. So with that, I think we'll save that for next time. Thanks everybody for sticking around. I'm going to, yeah, I think this is certainly an update. So I'm gonna commit this and push it to dev, just so if any of you are following or want the latest, you'll have access to it. So, oh yeah, let me first modify the get ignore to be anything in agent temp state. Yeah, basically we want to keep the README file. So anything that's state, let's say anything that's state, we'll ignore. Hopefully that should work. And I think I also in the README, I don't know if I push this. Did I put instructions for making sprints? I don't know. No. Okay. Okay, let's do this. So what did we do? Hmm. Let's say, I want to say we improved pddl API usage of simple GR agent. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try and push it. All right, I have to just change my oh my god, I have to do this so many times. Git SSH eval. How do you? There we go. Nope. Oh shoot, is that gonna mess it up? Yeah, it is. Okay. Beautiful. We've pushed it. Let's just double check. Go back to the repository. And refresh. No? Branches? Dev. 2 minutes ago. Okay. So latest code is here. And just while I have you guys, I just want to show you the getter. Here we go. This is it. So if you sign in, so this is here where I'm explaining how to make custom sprints. So if you ask questions here, we try to get a quick response. And yeah, with that, all right. Hope that you all found this useful. And signing off for now. See you later.